I'm Jeff Ziegler, Dean of Academics at Pinnacle Classical Academy here in Shelby. I'm joined by Tony Williams, who spoke today to our high school students. Tony Williams is the author of 6 books, including the brief and engaging Hamilton, an American biography, and Washington and Hamilton, The Alliance That Created America, co-authored with Stephen Knott. Mr. Williams has also written America's Beginnings, the dramatic events that shaped a nation's character, the Jamestown Experiment, the remarkable story of the enterprising colony, and the unexpected results that shaped America, Pox and the Covenant, Franklin Mather and the epidemic that changed America's destiny, and Hurricane of Independence, the untold story of the deadly storm at the deciding moment of the American Revolution. Mr. Williams is a senior teaching fellow at the Bill of Rights Institute and holds history degrees from Syracuse University and Ohio State University. He taught history for 15 years and was a fellow at the Colonial Williamsburg Foundation. He lives with his family in Williamsburg, Virginia, and has lectured across the country, including at Colonial Williamsburg, the Virginia Festival of the Book, the United States State Department, the United States Department of Education, National Park Service Revolutionary War battle sites, NASA, several universities, and countless civics and history groups. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my honor to be here and to speak at the school to your fine students.
Thank you. At Pinnacle Classical Academy, we emphasize the importance of great works of literature and primary texts, from ancient authors like Homer and Aristotle to more recent works like the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.'s Letter from Birmingham Jail and Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. Why do you think that great works of literature and primary texts in general are important in a student's education?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, I think that primary sources are really a great way to teach. And I think the reason why, and I know we do it at the Bill of Rights Institute, and I think it allows the historical actors to speak for themselves, right? In a day where you know, a lot of scholarship can be kind of ideological, and students listen to an omnipotent narrator in their textbook and so forth. So instead of the textbook and someone then telling them what to think, it allows students the opportunity to hear the person in their original voice and then to formulate their own ideas, their own judgments, about what the person was saying, what they might have intended, and so forth. And then I think there's an even perhaps more fundamental importance to these great books, which is why I'm so excited about Pinnacle, is that it allows students to grapple with a very heady topic, which is to examine human nature and to look at the human condition and to study everything from the Bible all the way up through Lincoln and from Aristotle up through James Madison, and to understand more about humanity, right? To understand love and war and sometimes violence and jealousy and journeys and the search for truth and the search for meaning and so forth. So I think Viktor Frankl had it right. But it allows us to really understand humanity and in ways that transcend time, right? Where we're dealing with, we deal with many of the same emotions, many of the same things that people in ancient times did. So human nature hasn't changed all that much in society. Sure, technology's changed, other things have changed, but I think it allows students to see more permanent things about humans.
Yeah. In addition to emphasizing great works of literature and primary texts, Pinnacle Classical Academy requires its high school students to take courses in Latin, logic, and rhetoric. In your judgment, how can a classical education such as this help prepare students for college, the workplace, and more broadly for citizenship?
Sure. I mean, I love classical education, and it's very practical, right? It may even surprise people how practical it is, because what you're talking about with logic, with rhetoric, is understanding arguments, understanding how to think, and how to think well, and then with rhetoric, with oratory, articulating those ideas well. And so that encourages one to have conversations and to persuade others and to listen to others and engage in that kind of very constructive dialogue and deliberation that is sadly a little bit absent from our society today. But I think that classical education shows that it's more needed than ever and really equips students to tackle all of these challenges in a very practical way, whether in college, whether in the workplace. That's what you do. That's what I do all day. We develop ideas in our field and then we articulate them and act on them. And so having that background is really important. I mean, students can get educated anywhere. They can learn some of the facts anywhere. They can go online for that kind of thing. But to be taught how to think well is a really unique gift that Pinnacle has to offer.
You spoke to our high school students today. What is your impression of our students and of the school?
I did. They are remarkably impressive, and I have to say they ask really good questions. So I spoke on the founders and the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, as you know, and they asked a number of very thoughtful and engaging questions that made me think very deeply in responding. And they asked them both about history and then the current state of our society. They were very, very impressive, and that they were confident in asking questions and coming up to me afterwards and engaging in a conversation. And that's probably the most important thing, is that the most remarkable, that they really wanted to engage, they wanted to listen, they wanted to discuss, they wanted to deliberate on these things. It didn't seem like I had all the answers, they didn't have all the answers, but they wanted to engage in that kind of constructive dialogue. I think that's basically what education is all about. So they were teaching me maybe as much as I taught them.
And finally, during the minute or two that remains, I'd like to give you the opportunity to discuss the Bill of Rights Institute with our audience.
Yeah, so the Bill of Rights Institute is a national civics organization, and we have a very simple mission. That mission is to teach civics and history. That's what our mission says. And we do that through the teaching of founding principles and civic virtues, and we have produced dozens of curricula and free available resources on our website, billofrightsinstitute.org, that teachers and students who are citizens can use. And we teach, much like Pinnacle, classical, we teach through the primary sources, and we teach through these principles and virtues. And we have a lot of curricula on various aspects of history and government and civics course. And then we also go around the country and teach it to teachers and have a number of opportunities for students. And so besides our website content, we also have an extremely vibrant and rich collection of longer and short videos on our YouTube channel. So we do civics, and we do it well, and we're growing, and we're trying to help promote civil conversation and a healthier civil society.
Well, Mr. Williams, thank you so much for taking time to visit Pinnacle Classical Academy and to appear here on Dare to Soar.
It was my honor. Thank you.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. The sounds of tutoring and tech and health and fitness and arts and music. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Tune in to Senior Moments here on C19 TV. I am Jackie Sibley Newton with Terabella Assisted Living. Whether you are a senior, planning for your own future, or helping someone make decisions, Senior Moments has got information to share. We talk about the wealth of services, activities, and healthy living options available to you here in our area. That's Senior Moments on C19 and also on C19.tv.
I understand. I know it's not your typical resume.
Okay, well,
But candidate. But I've been working double shifts just to pay for books. I've been raising my 2 little brothers. I'm determined, driven, motivated. Isn't that what you're looking for?
Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org.
We always have had a certain courtesy to other people upon their retirement or somebody's passing.
I got something nice to say about our retirement.
Well, we're not.
Good riddance.
Oh, was it you?
First, he put giant flagpoles on the White House lawn like it was a Buc-ee's, and then he cemented over the Rose Garden. Then he turned the Oval Office into a place that looks like a New Orleans cat house.
Well, I'm sure President Obama evaluated both candidates and went with the best one, better one.
Yeah, one of them had a D by her name.
Well, one cannot help but wonder why. Betsy, one possibility would be that the Hurricanes are now afraid to enter the newly named Gulf of America while Trump's in the White House.
Hello, I'm Jeff Ziegler, Dean of Academics at Pinnacle Classical Academy here in Shelby, and our guest is Mr. Sam Weaver. During their years at Pinnacle Classical Academy, students read the works of dozens of authors, from ancient authors like Homer and Aristotle to contemporary writers. Among these writers is the Russian-born American philosopher Ayn Rand, author of the dystopian novel Anthem. As a scholar who writes, speaks, and teaches for the Ayn Rand Institute, Mr. Weaver is uniquely qualified to discuss Anthem. Mr. Weaver holds a BA in English from Davidson College and an MA in Liberal Arts from St. John's College in Annapolis. Mr. Weaver, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Mr. Weaver, Anthem is a dystopian novel, and you're visiting Shelby, North Carolina, the site of the filming of The Hunger Games, a 2012 movie based on another dystopian novel. Please tell us why dystopian novels like Anthem are worth reading.
Yeah, so dystopian novels are novels that explore different ways in which the world could go wrong, right? There's societies that have become nightmarish in some ways, like the opposite of a utopia. And I think the great novels in this genre reveal interesting things about our own society and the directions that it might be taking in the process of creating a sort of nightmare world. Like they have something to say about the causes of societal decline or the rise of authoritarianism. And Anthem certainly is one that has a lot to say about that.
College, as we all know, is increasingly expensive, and I suspect that many students and parents are grateful for organizations that offer substantial monetary prizes for essays written by high school students. Please tell us about the work of the Institute and especially its essay contests for high school students.
Sure. So, yeah, the Institute runs essay contests for students who write essays on 3 of Ayn Rand's major novels. So there's a contest for Anthem as well as for her novels The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged. And these contests are open to students all around the world who write essays in response to a prompt, and the winner of the contest receives a cash prize.
Well, that's a wonderful opportunity. You lecture today at Pinnacle Classical Academy, public charter school here in Shelby. What is your impression of our school?
Yeah, so I'm impressed by the intellectual seriousness that I encountered from the faculty that I've met. and also from the questions that I heard from some of the students, that it seems like a school where you have thoughtful faculty who are encouraging students to be thoughtful and to read important work and important works of literature and philosophy and think deeply about them.
Finally, at Pinnacle Classical Academy, we want our students to encounter a variety of great authors from different time periods, from ancient authors like Homer, Aeschylus, and Sophocles, to authors from the Renaissance and the American founding, to more recent works like Martin Luther King Jr.'s Letter from Birmingham Jail and Alexander Solzhenitsyn's One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. What is your assessment of schools like Pinnacle Classical Academy that have this educational approach?
I think it's offering something that's a really important value for students, in particular students who are interested in becoming really deep philosophical thinkers who are engaged with questions of great and timeless importance for human life. I've read a lot of the works from many of these different eras, and I know I've benefited a lot from them in my own thinking and understanding of questions that really matter to me in my life. And so I think offering students an opportunity to do that, and even students who may not initially be interested, but they read and it ignites something and they become deeper and clearer and better thinkers. It's I think a great value.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Weaver, for coming to lecture at Pinnacle Classical Academy today and for taking time to appear on Dare to Soar.
Thank you.
She gets her hair from her mom, her eyes from her dad, and her drugs from her home medicine cabinet. Fact: more people die from drug overdoses than from car crashes or gun violence. And over 50% of those deaths are from prescription drugs. Prescription drug abuse is preventable. 1. Secure and take regular inventory of our medications. 2. Dispose of unused or expired medications. 3. Share this message with others. Be aware, don't share, lock your meds.
As Cleveland County's premier event facility, LeGrand Center is the ideal location for any event. The LeGrand Center is located 45 minutes west of Charlotte, 45 minutes north of Spartanburg, and just a little over an hour east of Asheville. Whether you're a small business looking for a place for an off-site meeting or a bride looking for that special location for her wedding, LeGrand Center is the perfect place for you.